Everyone, welcome back to Inside the Wrapper. I'm here with Matt Booth of Room 101 Cigars, an entrepreneur in the jewelry, alcohol business, and tobacco as well. Featured on ATF Magazine, the one and only Matt Booth. Thank you for joining me today.
Chaz, thanks for having me.
So,
You didn't mention, you said all these nice things and gave me all these accolades, but I prefer to add International Gentleman of Leisure also
ah, that's true.
to those things,
I stand
items.
corrected.
Well, no, it's no correction, just, embellishing,
There you go.
adding into an already zestfully flavored pot of information, right?
Exactly. So, Matt, let's talk a little bit about your history.
Tell me,
You're Army veteran, correct?
Marine Corps,
Marine
infantry.
Corps. Nice. Well,
Yes,
thank you for your service.
thank you.
Tell us, how did you get started in the tobacco business? I know back in what was it, 93? Am I correct? Or 2003, sorry. You got started with your jewelry business, correct?
I mean, I was working on developing what was to become our jewelry business before that, but I founded the brand in '03. So actually, Chaz, as you and I speak, this is the 20th year of the Room 101 brand.
Amazing. It really is amazing.
Half a lifetime,
Exactly, yeah.
a full adult lifetime.
Hmm.
Not that I would, be so brazen as to apply the word adult to myself, but you get what I'm saying.
I definitely get what
This
you're
is
saying.
a life's investment,
Yeah.
so to speak. Yeah.
And you've done well. I mean, your pieces are absolutely gorgeous. Um,
Thank you.
I've seen some of the stuff that you've done for Guy Fieri, and it was just they're just gorgeous pieces.
Well, I mean, my favorite projects are consistently my custom projects and custom things that I make for people that I know,
Right.
respect, or consider friends. They're always the most powerful designs. They always seem to end up that way. That's just part of the magic of 3D development and making things for people that you know.
Yeah.
Old school, right?
Exactly. And you've done some
Hmm.
other famous people. You've done rappers, and was it Jay-Z? Did you do a piece for him?
Not Jay-Z, not the Jigga Man, not yet. However, Busta Rhymes.
Oh, nice.
Who else raps that we fuck around with? There are a couple guys. Oh, my man Sen and Reyes Sendog from Cypress Hill,
Wow.
legend and
Yes.
longtime supporter of our brand. Actually, one of the originals, quite
Really?
frankly.
That's
Oh yeah,
great.
yeah, man. He's been supporting our brand, I think, at this point over 15 years. Same with Guy.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Yeah, like I said, some of the pieces. One day, when I get big enough, I'm gonna have you design those glasses with Stogie Chaz on it.
Okay. Whatever you
Yeah.
want, bro.
Oh man,
Whatever you want. I'm always here.
I would love to. I just saw the Meat Lovers ring. It looks great.
Dude, it looks good, right? A
It
little bit
does.
of personality,
Hmm.
shape, and volume to it. Um, Tailored for the meat man himself,
Oh yeah,
bespoke
yeah.
made.
The Secretary of State is very happy in showing it off.
Good, good.
We'll see him this week as you're
Yes, we
coming in for the
will.
Great Smoke.
Yes, we
This will
will.
probably air after the Great Smoke, but um, for those of you who don't know about it, Smoke Inn has a great event every year called the Great Smoke, and it is one of the best events you'll ever attend in your entire life. So, Matt, let's get back
Yes.
to you. So, you were in the jewelry business. What got you into cigars?
It's kind of a funny story, Chaz,
Hmm.
but I'd like to tell you.
Absolutely, please.
Okay. So I was always obsessed with the idea and driven to create a brand that was very reminiscent of what Alfred Dunhill was to me,
Okay.
but not Alfred Dunhill that it is today.
Hmm.
Well, actually, Alfred Dunhill, uh, their showroom and brand nucleus in Mayfair in London still, I think, is very reflective of everything that Alfred Dunhill has represented to me over the years. But what the rest of the world, I think, would have more openly understood that brand to be in 1950, 1960s, very European multi-class luxury lifestyle.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All the finest appointments for the modern day jet setting gentleman and gentle lady of leisure,
Right.
getting on the Pan Am flight,
Oh.
flying over, not, you know, not the ass rape and misery that air travel is today, but the
Exactly.
luxurious experience of taking flight in 1960. Amazing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And I was always obsessed with the idea that we could create a brand with similar nomenclature in terms of all these different classes of goods,
Right.
obviously done in my own way, in my
Hmm.
own vernacular, um, but rooted in that traditional luxury lifestyle brand format, right?
Right.
Um, Little did I know I was going to be embarking upon a lifelong journey of creation and development, and not only leveraging creativity to make these different items that I felt
Hmm.
were in stride with what that collection was to be, but also leveraging creativity to navigate uh, the regulatory atmosphere that did not exist at the time that Dunhill was really taking stride in the
Right.
60s, right?
Yeah.
All these different category restrictions didn't exist then. It's like fucking smoke them if you got them. Now it's
Exactly.
like don't smoke them if you got them. Don't even got them. There's no smoking, you know? I mean, there
Hmm.
is for us,
Right.
right? Because we are the ambassadors of that culture, right? So um I've just been talking a lot of shit. What was the question? It was how did I get into the cigar
How did
business?
you get into the cigar
Oh yeah, yeah.
industry?
Right, right. So that was the idea, was to make a brand of this nature, right? And then okay, how to do it. Not
Hmm.
knowing anyone in any industry that I was going to have to enter to create these items, right?
Right.
I didn't have an uncle in the jewelry business, nor in the cigar business. We've really kind of kicked the door in every space we've walked into, sauntered into,
Hmm.
provocatively sashayed
Yes.
into, but with
Absolutely.
force and
Yes.
determination,
Hmm.
right? So the short form of this is that being the eager beaver that I am,
Right.
I was pressing some people in the business to introduce me to someone that could make me a very luxurious humidor that would accompany and complement my higher end smokers accessory collection that I was developing
Okay.
for Room 101. And it was really a byproduct of those conversations that led me to collaborate with a company you may have heard of called Camacho. And
Yes.
this was still under Christian's rule in 2008 that I
Hmm.
began to work with them in a
Right.
collaborative nature. Um, and that folded into an opportunity for license with the brand in '09 with the Davidonians. And we launched Room 101 Cigars in 2009 at the IPCPR trade show.
Okay. Where was it
And
held that year?
oh, what a delight that was in New Orleans.
Oh my God.
The moisture on my undercarriage, Chaz, was so it was undeniable.
Yeah.
I had to go up a size of undergarment just to accommodate all the moisture.
Isn't Vegas worse though?
I like it dry, bro.
Okay. Yeah, dry heat's
I
always
don't
good. Yeah, I agree.
I don't like a juicy heat.
But
It's
it is
off-putting
hot
to
as
me.
hell.
Oh my God. Fucking miserable. But I would like to point out that I did say IPCPR, and I've waited, all this politicking and whatever, like it is what it is.
Right.
But I will say this. I remember, I'd be alongside a very dear friend of mine. I still say it to this day. Like I'll be with Keith Rumbo, cigar industry legend and dear friend of mine, or even Big Delicious. We're going to see
Yeah.
him this weekend,
Yes, we
and they'll
are.
say something about, oh, we were doing this thing at the RTDA, and I'm like, fucking legend. Because they're like, at the RTDA. Oh no, no, I'm sorry, the IPCPR. Excuse me. And I'm just like, fucking legend, man. Like, look at how they do that. And I don't even think they know that they do that. But
Hmm.
as a youth in the business that's turned an OG, I guess, now I can say the IPCPR. Oh, I'm sorry, no, the PCA.
Yeah.
bitch. I can say that now.
Yes, you
But,
can.
the thing is there are people that can say, oh, we were at the RTD. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no, no.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah.
They're triple OG now, you know,
True,
and
true.
I respect that. I
Yeah,
do. I'm just
and
glad that I have a little time and grade that I can have some clout like that now, too, I guess.
and collaborating with Abe, yeah, you came out with the Big Delicious and the second
That's
Big
right.
Delicious as well. Great cigars, by the way.
I mean,
I
they're all right. They're cool.
oh no,
Made in pink. They're nice.
oh the artwork is gorgeous on it. Let me ask, you did the artwork or did Abe?
No, no, we do all of our own graphics, man.
Oh, that I love that graphic. You know, it's totally pimped out. I believe it's from an
But
album,
the
is it
but the
not?
original, but the original. So okay, let's go back. The original artwork I commissioned my boy Peke, who is a globally respected graffiti writer and illustration artist, which
Mhm.
his style is just like how I make my cigars in different factories because they have to be made by specific people to taste a certain way.
Right.
If I'm going to commission artwork, it has to be done by the right person to achieve the correct outcome. And Peke was the perfect candidate to create that. Well, it's a tribute to Superfly,
Yeah,
is
it
what it
is.
is.
Yeah,
You know, long before there were any cigars that were named in that vein, there was the tribute artwork. I thought it was most fitting for Big Delicious. I
oh,
quite frankly.
absolutely. It
So
fits
I
him
I gave
perfectly.
him that. I gifted him that, and and cemented that into the annals of cigar time. Are
Absolutely.
you enjoying our conversation, or do you
I'm
find
I
it?
oh no,
Do
no,
you
I
find
love
my
this.
because sometimes I find out later people are like you know offended or sometimes so aroused they can't even keep up with I don't know what side of that you fall on, but you
Half
know
a chub maybe.
okay. The
Okay.
chub is
It's good.
standard for us.
It's good. Yeah, absolutely.
It's lighter
Absolutely.
fare, honestly, than but it's where we start really.
Listen,
Chub's the starting point.
I don't know if you've heard of my crew, the Wrecking Crew.
I maybe.
Yeah, we're 11 guys, and we've
Oh
been together
shit,
for years.
you're
And
dual digits.
oh yeah, 11 guys, and we just have so much fun together.
Well, are you coming to the thing? Are they all coming to the thing, or
No,
they
I'm the
scattered?
only one. Everyone else is pretty
The only
much
one.
scattered. The
Okay.
guys in Florida are tied up. I'm the only
Mm.
one that's going this year. Typically, we have everyone there. We'll have a great time. But this year, I'm by myself, which is fine. Um, and it'll be a great show no matter what. I'll be scouting around. I'll be talking to you
Hmm.
as usual, and everyone else that's there. But yeah, this is kind of what I expected with this interview, and you're free form. It's great. Um, your thoughts are just great. I enjoy listening to you. I really do. I know you give Sensei he kind of cringes every once in a while.
You know, I find it provocative when you think about how many years I've been beating this drum,
Yeah.
right? And my own drum, right? And I go toe to toe with these guys in interviews a good deal, and they know what they're getting into every time they agree to this nonsense. And still, there's like this air of discomfort. Oh God, he's doing the thing again. It's like, bro,
No.
like this is 15 years we've been doing this little Rochambeau of sorts, like
No.
what are we, why, bitch, why so brand new?
Exactly. No, I just want you to be yourself. Don't hold anything back, which is perfect.
I really couldn't do it any other way. I can't function. My computer will shut down.
Exactly. So your first factory, you were with Camacho. They were acquired by Davidoff.
That's correct.
Okay, and then what? 2000? What year was it? 2016 when you left? When you left the industry for a year?
I mean, I never really left. I was just fucking around.
Yeah, I know. I know. When I saw that
Yeah.
picture of you getting a haircut in Nicaragua, I told everyone, "Oh, he's back." He's back. Just wait. It's coming. That's our salute. Every Friday, we salute each other that way.
Two fingers, always
Oh,
two.
yeah. Always two. Got to do it. But yeah, I was so happy to see that you were coming back. And you came back with Caldwell and AJ.
Yeah, we dropped a couple collaborations just to kind of diddle the bean of awareness for,
Hmm.
some new Matt Booth driven, Room 101 driven projects.
Right.
And that folded into the release of new premium core and so on and so forth, right?
And your collaboration with AJ, the anniversary sticks. They're my absolute favorites.
Those are the shit.
Oh my
They are
god.
fucking great. Every one of them is delicious. That's all I got to say about it.
And in
And I'm
fact,
grateful that he puts up with me enough. I very much love and respect him,
oh,
and
he's
I'm
he's
just
he's a
grateful that he
phenomenal
he
guy.
puts he puts up with me.
We got to go to Nicaragua a couple times. I've gotten to meet him a few times, and he's a great guy. He
Yeah,
really
man.
is. Yeah. But your newest iteration of the stick made number 2 on my list
Did
this
it?
past year. Yes, it did.
The fuck was number one? Chaz.
Number 1 was the Espinosa 10 year. It just beat you out by a nut hair.
You got it sounds like you got a little thing for anniversary cigars.
I
Huh?
do.
Is it?
Those anniversary
Okay.
sticks just
Huh.
I gotta buy them every time. Every time they come out, I can't wait. I even text you about it. I can't wait till they drop. And as soon as they do, I'm right there. I gotta get
It's
them.
a reminder that I every year will flare up
Hmm.
like the Shanker sore of this industry, but like a really like an attractive Shanker sore, like one that
Yes.
you're not really mad that you have, like almost like think about it like this, Chess. Like think about it. You have this thing, this bulbous orb pop up on your face, and you're like, you know what? I'm not going to suppress that just yet. I'm going to go get like a tiny hat for it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like a little mask, like a
Hmm.
Robert, like a Lone Ranger mask kind of thing that you could kind of side saddle on that thing.
Uh-huh.
That's what I am to this business.
There you go. There's nothing wrong. Let me tell you, the business needs you. Room 101 needs you. With the recent acquisition, if and I had this conversation with someone else, if you're not involved, the brand essentially will die. That's
Well,
my
look,
opinion.
man, I think that your statement is somewhat flawed, Chaz, but let me help you understand why.
Okay.
I think that Room 101, actually, you know what? Think about this, envision this. I had an illustration made by a very good friend of mine, Jimmy Rodriguez in LA, and it's myself pregnant with an embryo of Johnny Tobacconut. All right. And it's because I am Johnny Tobacconut's father. You
Right.
understand?
Hmm.
And I am the father of Room 101 as well.
Yes.
But what must occur is that Room 101 as a brand, as an organic, viscous brand organism, must live beyond the day that I must pull every lever every minute of the day for it to survive.
Right.
I mean, look at Davidoff. Davidoff was birthed by a man named Zeno Davidoff,
Hmm.
who has no connection to the company now whatsoever, other than the fact that they pay tribute to
Right.
the man that started it all. But they carry on the tradition that he initially created in
Hmm.
brand form long past that man's existence. And that's the entire point of this exercise. Is that yes, if I just vaporize tomorrow, they would probably not fare so well in the initial stages in this next stage of this brand's lifespan.
Right.
But in 5 to 10 years, it's meant to live on its own, where they can just be like, hey, this fucking very different person that we don't bring around to parties because he makes certain people uncomfortable. He started this whole thing, and now we're kind of carrying on the tradition, and
Hmm.
he's, off, testing new forms of banana hammocks in the Caribbean and just
There
got
you
this
go.
whole thing that he does.
Exactly.
And we try not to disturb him because he shows up and makes everybody he reminds everyone of things that we don't want and we carry on. So
Mhm.
that's the idea. So Room 101 doesn't die without me. Room 101 in fact is in a process of evolution, right?
Mhm.
And myself working in partnership with these guys to shepherd it forward to the point where it can go on to be an evergreen presence in the landscape of global craftdom,
Right.
craftdom, craftdom.
Craft them.
See what I'm
It
saying?
works. I do.
You
I get
dig?
it. I get it.
Now, but if I split tomorrow, they'd be fucked. I mean, no offense. Like, no, they can't.
Yeah.
They have to. I have to work very closely with them to
Hmm.
shepherd this thing forward to a point where it is
Self-sustaining.
tenable. Yeah, yeah, man. And there will be someone that comes in that's weird enough to understand how to, and I work with some very, very talented partners in that regard. So I think that you know, um, I think that that's the plan. You get what I'm saying? You get the
I
you
do.
get the
I do.
short and curlies of the long term here.
I get it. I get it. I mean, a lot of people, talk about sellout and this bullshit, and that's really all it is. I think it was from a business point of view, it was a smart move, just like Alec and Bradley.
Well, look, man. I mean, look, anybody that says that is a fucking hater,
True.
plain and simple. And the reality is that Alec Bradley, just like Room 101, will live on long past the point
Right.
that we must breathe life into it on a daily basis. And that's the entire point of all this.
As long as
You
the
know,
cigars are good, people will smoke them.
yeah,
And I'm
fuck,
glad.
man. If cigars are bad, they'll smoke them. I mean, there's
Oh,
proof of
yeah, I
this
know. I know.
occurring
Yeah, I
too. I
know.
mean, my cigars are mediocre at best, and people fucking love them. You know,
Yeah,
I
I
smoke
don't. I
Padron personally. I like Padron. I love
Padron.
Padron.
Yeah, Padron's a
Hi,
Padron's a
Jeff. I
classic.
love you. Padron is the truth. I smoke 64 Principe. That's what I smoke.
Hmm.
I anticipate someone maybe giving me one of these as a gift of great smoke. I don't know. I don't want to be so forward, but I think that might be nice. Anyone
There
listening
you
out
go.
there? Oh, wait, they're not going to hear this until after.
No, but
That means you have to bring me one.
maybe I'll put the word out. Yeah, I heard there would be a get during this interview, so that's okay. I can handle that.
A get?
A
The
get.
fuck does that mean?
Somebody put a little thing
Somebody
in my
said that I like
ear.
to just like I
Yeah,
like things. I do
things.
like things.
Things.
I
I
do
like
like
to say
things.
things. I'm from
I
Jersey,
like
so
things. I
things.
like things. I like things. Like mittens and things.
I'm not bringing you mittens, but
Mittens.
the cigar I'll bring you. So
You
which one
could
is it?
bring me mittens though.
64
You could bring me
Principe?
mittens.
I could bring you
Fucking
mittens.
A right at 60. You
It
could
might
bring
be.
me mittens. You'd be like, hey, smoke these, you piece of internet trash. I'm not bringing you any cigars. And you could do it smoking that would be a very Jersey thing of you to say. Go
That would
fuck
be.
yourself. Here's your mittens. Fuck off.
Exactly. What
Yeah.
do I know about this shit? I don't know. How do I can't run a restaurant. You want to quote lines from Goodfellas? We can do that.
I mean, why would I want to run a restaurant? I can order food. Like, you know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly.
And I have no chance. I mean, I almost killed myself in a crockpotting incident back in 2013.
Crockpots can be dangerous. Be
I
careful
mean,
out
when
there.
I'm operating them, they can't. I can't be trusted with any sort of cooking type shit.
So, your creative process.
Yes,
When I see you're bringing back a lot of the old brands. Is Cool Arrow coming back? Chief Cool Arrow?
I'm. I'm not allowed to. I'm not
Okay.
allowed to speak in out of turn here. The chief himself. It's his uncle's in politics. You understand what I'm saying? Like I
I
can't.
get it. I get
When
it.
it happens, yes. But you didn't hear it from me.
I didn't hear from you. But Johnny Tobacconut's back, and a lot of the just all the cigars you've had before. I'm in love with the band, bro. I really am. I'm in love with the
Dude,
band.
I was fucking around laying out our artwork and scheduling projects and what in this space specifically. And I sat back and I was like, this is a good looking fucking brand.
Yeah.
I mean, suck it. This is a really good looking collection of goods,
Mm-hmm.
brands and sub brands that serve purposes both visually, experientially, and also in terms of brand aesthetic. Like it's a very well rounded offering. And it's been
Mm-hmm.
built over 15 years. A lot of trial and error and rebrand. And now we have this opportunity to roll it out the way that it needs to be for the next 15 and beyond.
Right. And you have this thing called Shadow Army.
I mean, we don't talk about that, but I've heard
The Shadow
things,
Army is good.
things.
Things, definitely things. So let's go through your creative process. Tell me about your creative process when you're working on cigars.
Mhm. Well, in terms of developing a like a blend mixture,
Yeah.
or
Mm-hmm.
okay. So I kind of paint by the numbers, and that's a system that I've developed over the years that it really works for me. And I think that when people go about this, they do it in their own way, right? But for me, I kind of go ABC 1, 2, 3. So what I do is I let's start from scratch. Let's not talk about modifying something that exists, right?
Right.
So what I'll do is if I'm looking to experiment or I'm feeling a little frisky,
Mm-hmm.
I will explain to my blending partner at whichever factory I be. Let's use Henderson at William Ventura, right?
Right.
And I'll say, I'm looking to create something that tastes like Padron 64.
Okay.
Who knows? I mean, that's odd
Right.
because nothing can taste like that. I would never blaspheme, you
Right.
know, but let's just for the sake of something that's almost as good as that.
Right.
Let's just go there, right?
Okay.
Because it's that, and then number one of the rest of the world is there. It's
Right.
that, and right. So he would make suggestions on components to
Mm-hmm.
achieve this, right? And so I would have him make me burritos of each style of tobacco, wrapper, binder, filler, okay, actual cigars, not just little fumas. Like I want a full
Right.
cigar made of that tobacco. And then I will put that into my face and I will smoke that shit. And I will take notes and I'll do my best to remember. And I will smoke. Hopefully, it's not too complex. Like we're talking about maybe
Right.
3 components, 4 components that I'm going to be fucking around with.
Right.
And I will smoke through that little selection together, apart, etc., and make my notes and decide, okay, let's try these two put together,
Okay.
right? 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's try these two put together. And if we have a wrapper selection already in mind, I'll have them put that on. And then I'll smoke kind of like a half-cocked version of whatever we're going for. And just try to get as good of an understanding of what those components are going to behave like individually and cohesively, you know,
Right.
and work towards a final mixture and a product that way. Now, of course, over the years, I happen to be more handy with a couple of things than others, so I'll begin to recognize like, hey, this might work very well with component XYZ, right? And
Mm-hmm.
continue to go from there.
Right.
And so that's how I do it.
Okay. So,
Mhm.
what other factories do you work with?
I work with William Ventura proudly in the Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
We have made over the years we've made some products with General's factory in the Dominican. Uh, we work with AJ Fernandez,
Right.
Hoya de Nicaragua, Oliva, and also the Hatsa factory in Honduras.
Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, so you got a great selection to pick from.
Well, man, I mean, look, that's not by happenstance. They all are brilliant at
Yeah.
doing what they do best.
Mm-hmm.
And perfect example. If you took one of our blends from William Ventura and I gave that to Hoya and I gave them the exact recipe, or to AJ, right? And said, hey, please make, and actually this would be kind of a fun, oh fuck, Chaz, I just thought of some shit. Look at
There we
this.
go.
Oh my God. This would be fucking fun to do. We should do this.
There we
I'm gonna
go.
do this.
All right.
And maybe somebody does it first and they copy the idea,
Mm-hmm.
but it's carved into the stone of the sands of internet time right here.
Well,
Fuck
listen,
them.
you've got a few
Right here.
weeks. You've got a few weeks before this goes public, so
No, fuck that. I take claim. I
there
put
you
the
go.
nutsack of claim on the face of the universe right
That's
here
it.
on the internet. Fucking go ahead, knock yourself out, do it. We can point back to this and be like, look at that. Biter.
I
So,
told you
anyways,
so. I told you so.
yeah. So I should. So here's the statement. If I took a blend recipe from William Ventura and gave that to AJ and said, my man, could you please make me this blend?
Mm-hmm.
The same product, blow your fucking doors off, right? And for example, like I'm thinking personally of Farce Maduro. It's a brand that I love very much.
Right.
And it's also powerful, but yet sophisticated simultaneously because of the way that they treat their products, their tobaccos, their materials, the way they age them, and the way that they produce their blends. Different. in the way AJ produces and
Right.
treats tobacco, right? Neither is incorrect or correct. It's different style,
Correct.
different touch, different approach.
Mm-hmm.
But if you took that strong yet sophisticated product recipe and gave it to AJ, he would make you something that would blow your fucking face off in a good way,
Right.
in a really good way,
Right.
right? In a beautiful way. It would be his interpretation of that recipe, even if it was the
Exactly.
exact same shit,
Right.
right? Because it's his touch.
Mm-hmm.
It's his touch, right? And so what we should do is have him make that blend and say, yo, make this, but make it AJ.
Right.
And have them ride shotgun with each other. It would be dope. It would be a really cool exercise because I mean, I use that type of example a lot
Mm-hmm.
to explain different kitchen, different outcome,
Right.
right? If you gave someone my mom's recipe for spaghetti sauce and they made it in their kitchen, it would be a fucking abomination compared to what my beautiful mother would make in our
Right.
kitchen growing up, right? And it would be nothing like it. Nothing like it. You give them the exact same recipe because it's not her kitchen, it's not her hands, it's not made with her love, right?
So I'm seeing a 10 count box with half from Henderson, half from AJ.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't want to start. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't want to fuck around with what goes into boxes these days. We don't know
Okay.
what,
Yeah,
who,
it's true. Yeah.
it's cool today, not tomorrow. It wasn't then, it is before. Let's just say they'll come in the way that is within compliance.
Sounds good.
But people will get whatever they need. How about that?
There you go. And
Can
people
we
said he
be
can't be politically correct. Look at this.
Look, man, people think I just run around talking about dicks and shit all the time. And like I also, do other stuff too.
Right.
I I talk about the other stuff quite a lot though.
Yeah.
Quite a lot.
Yeah. We're not going to do
Almost to a
politics.
point where people are like, Jesus, man, please stop with the dicks. I was talking to Scott. This is the perfect, I'll never forget. I was talking to Scott Vines, brilliant man, love him very much. Insatiably, I mean, savagely attractive Scottish gentleman, our distributor in the UK. And he was with me at the last PCA IPCPR legend show that we did. And, I was having a business conversation with him and one of his partners, and not romantic, but like business. And I forget what we were talking about. And he turned to his friend and he's like, look, Matt Booth is a fucking businessman. Look at him. And I'm like, what the fuck, Scott? We've worked together for like 3 years, bro. Like, you think
Mm-hmm.
all I do is run around talking all this bullshit and like that's how this happens? Jesus, man. And that's when I realized like a lot of cats, they can't keep up. They just
True.
they don't have a fucking clue. Like they never see me coming. And I even tell them, I'm like, look, I'm gonna walk from that side of the room to this side of the room,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna do the stuff, and then I'm gonna leave. And they're like, oh, he's crazy. It's weird when you're talking to people and you're running circles around them at the same time,
This
and
is
you're
true.
honest about what you're doing, and they
Right.
still don't see you. I'm just, I'm just saying, Chaz. I don't think some people see me, and those are the dangerous ones. The rest of them, they don't know. It's just enjoy
Listen,
the fucking hullabaloo,
there's
you
nothing
know.
wrong with playing handball up against the curb. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with just being yourself.
Hey, man, I myself, and I've got balls in hand. So how about that?
Absolutely.
And I might curb someone. I don't know their enthusiasm. I didn't say stomp. Oh no, I just did.
uh,
But I was using it as an example, not as a. I would curb their enthusiasm.
not to be
Just
confused
as
with
long
the
as there's
show.
not
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying.
I do. I do. Um,
There's a very delightful shade of blue on you, and you have headphones that match. And don't think I didn't notice that.
there
You
you
look
go. Hey,
great, bro.
yeah,
You're killing it.
gotta give
Killing it.
props to the Beats, man. I love these. They're old,
Savage.
but they're great.
Yeah, man.
They work great. Yeah, and this is my Wrecking Crew Tiki Tour 2022 show or
Oh
shirt.
my.
Yeah. Every year we get together and we hang out at our buddy's Tiki in West Palm Beach.
Okay. That's
And
cool.
we spend a week smoking cigars, bullshitting, just having a great time.
I dig that, man.
I'm telling
Dig
you,
the vibe.
to have 11 guys with no BS, no nothing, just get together, and it's been for years. It's a rare thing that happens.
Mm, mm.
And it's
It's
all
nice.
goes back
We
to the
have to
love of the
cherish
league.
these. We got to cherish these moments, man. Like they're
Oh yeah,
fleeting, they're never enough, and that's what the cigar does. Is it forces you. It's a forced savoring of a moment. You know.
yeah. Those guys are my brothers. If I need something, if they need something, they know they can always reach out, and we'll take care of each other.
There you go.
Yeah,
One hand washes the stuff you said there.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Everybody's washing. It's good. They're clean.
I know you do a lot of Zooms. I know you do a lot of in-person stuff. How else do you stay involved with your customers?
I really I really love the opportunity to stay plugged in with them using social media and using these live chats. I feel like any way that I can creep into their mind or stay in there, I will. I think it's important. I feel that I owe them the ability to connect, the
Hmm.
ability to at least have enough of an understanding about with whom they invest their money or why. Some people might not like my nonsense, and that's fine. I mean, it's poor taste, whatever. Not me in poor taste. I'm saying is no accounting for
No,
taste, right?
there
Like
isn't.
you know but those that enjoy fanciful delights and delightful conversation and such, I think they find a home here, and they need to know. They need, like, look, man, I don't want to spend my money with a dickhead. you
True,
know this
true.
is about the support, whether we sold our cigar business or not. This is still a veteran built and veteran owned brand,
Right.
you know in all categories globally,
Hmm.
outside of tobacco, right? So and driven by that spirit, driven by veteran spirit, driven by the entrepreneurial spirit. So, you know, if you want to invest in something that is a reflection of the American dream, you would invest in a Room 101 brand and their
Absolutely.
affiliated products, right? If you don't like that kind of thing, and you want to invest in, somebody that has a phenomenal collection of chewed bubble gum or whatever they do. I don't know what they do. I know what a lot of people do though, Chaz. I know what they do.
Uh-oh.
I might not put it out on Front Street, but I know
There
what
you
they
go.
do. I
Keep it.
know.
You gotta
I'm a
keep.
gentleman.
You gotta
I'm a
keep little
gentleman.
things because you never know when you might
Yeah.
need that little
And you
nugget
might
of
need it. You're like,
information.
hey, I know about the whole squirrel graveyard you have at your grandma's house, freak.
Exactly.
You know?
Me being Italian from Jersey, I know about those things.
Yeah.
You
And I
store
did say
those.
squirrels.
You store those
I
little
meant
nuggets in
little
your brain.
animals. I meant cute animals. I didn't mean, you know what I mean?
I do.
So
I do.
no, man, I think that I owe it to them to let them know, who they're investing in and with, man. I think
Right.
that's really important, especially our cigar consumers and
Hmm.
and brand devotees. Because look, man, this is a very heart and soul driven business. This is a very human business in a world
Right.
where so much of humanity has been euthanized out of products and brands and
Oh, God.
all the things, right? This is still, one of the last bastions of human
Yeah. Hmm.
driven brand and gentleman culture and gentle lady culture. And I think that that's the best I can do, right? That's what
Right.
I should be doing. And I always try to do that. And look, man, sometimes, you know, you can't hit every shot every day, but I try not to shoot and miss. And I definitely try to, if I'm at some sort of live event, I definitely try to, like a small, beautiful cherub fairy. I like to dance around and try to make
Hmm.
sure I talk to everybody, even if it's for 5 minutes. And I get into these fucking conversations with people where, I realize someone's left, and I literally am pissed off at myself. Like I was fucking jaw jacking here, which I was enjoying myself, and we were having a
Right.
great conversation, but somebody, got tired of fucking waiting and left. And I
Hmm.
and I and I always am conscious of that. Like I'm always like, man, I really need to, share this moment with everybody humanly possible, and make sure that they have that they're afforded the amount of time that they need to calculate whether or not that they are spending their money in the right place, or that
Right.
if they are, that we have that moment for to enjoy with each other, and um you know give them what they're paying for, I guess.
True.
I mean,
So
that's the best way I can put it, right? That's what I'm trying to do. That's the spirit of it, and that's real, man. That's not that's not some sort of like contrived thing I got out of how to be a cigar. Uh, what is it? Jerk off? What is the word you use for this? You're from New Jersey. This is like some cigar
as
jag off. Yeah,
Chaz
yeah.
Palminteri succinctly put it, he's a jerk off.
Okay. So some cigar jerk off guy.
Yeah.
Like it's what we're trying to do here, I
Hmm.
guess.
So you
I
said
don't know.
now you've said spirit. So
The fuck do I know?
we've covered the jewelry. We've covered a lot
Yeah.
of the cigars. Let's talk about the gin. What made you get into
Yeah, man.
gin?
Well, I like getting into things that can get into you. And I like the idea that my products can enter your body.
Hmm.
Okay. That's first and foremost. They penetrate the outer cusp of your face and go inside your carcass. And that's
Correct.
what gin can do. Now, and then it can permeate your mind. It can alter you, right?
Hmm.
But more importantly, and actually, fuck man, I'm gonna be serious for a second. All right, hold on. Okay, so the idea with gin was really simple. One, I felt that it was the most on brand, overarchingly so, right?
Okay.
Because I like to say, our gin is made with grains and all sorts of bullshit, and you know, it's against the grain, right? Right. Which
Hmm.
is kind of the way we've gone about any branded effort and product
Right.
effort we've ever participated in, right? And I think that although it could initially be interpreted as the anti-spirit to the cigar smoker,
Hmm.
I think that gin is extremely versatile,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you can make it taste however the fuck you want it to, man. I think that a lot of people, including myself, have had, the initial experiences that you've had with a great deal of spirits may not be the greatest because, you know, when you're getting fucked up in the back of your homeboy's, Regal, and you're
Hmm.
drinking the plastic handle from Costco, you
Right.
know, this is a different era of your alcohol consumption, right? But we're left with these very visceral memories of like, okay, this overbearing juniper profile and personality to gin. And, I remember thinking like, okay, so for the brand, it's gin. And for the fact that tobaccophiles won't be so fast to follow me into that space, I'll be the first, right? So I can wipe my balls
Right.
all over the pole position of walking point in
Right.
a new endeavor, you know?
Hmm.
And anyone that will come after me in this space will obviously be, copying us. And I like to say that. Well, I only say that if I know it'll make me more money. So I
Nothing
don't want to
wrong with
say
that.
that. I don't want to say that before I can confirm that,
Right.
But if that will, then I'll say that.
But
So if you confirm that, then you can do like choose your own adventure on this interview, and we'll confirm that
this
yes,
is
that will
true.
actually
Yes.
help. And then I'll be like fucking copy you, bitch. But if not, then no, because it's we're just trying to make a living over here. So my point is that we very intelligently blended this botanical mixture to provide fire, right,
Hmm.
and spice and all of these elements where juniper was minimized and put in the back, and all of these other things were done as citrus, and the fire that comes from that citrus and elevated proof create a burn, right, and a cleanliness on the finish that accompanies a smoking experience. So I wanted to make a gin that was as universally palatable and enjoyable as possible, that
Right.
had kick and personality and funk to it, but was still something that a gin enthusiast would respect,
Hmm.
something that wasn't just like watered down to be, you know, uh, you know, something that was more pedestrian, like the pop music version of gin. I want it to
Right.
be respected by ginophiles.
Hmm.
That is even a thing, but also not off-putting to people that don't favor that really London dry traditional style juniper forward gin. And I remember sitting with our the master distiller that I worked with to develop the formula, and I was explaining what I was looking for and why I was looking for it, and why I wanted juniper to be minimized. And he looked at me and he said, well, Matt, Nobody likes being face fucked by pine cones. And I remember thinking, this is
The
my
guy.
man right here. This is the guy.
Right.
You and I understand each other very well.
Hmm.
And throughout the process, man, I realized that my cigar mouth was helping out a great deal, which I was
Right.
very pleased to see. Like, hey, I can't speak this guy's core language, but I'm there saying, hey, why is this note hollow? Why is this note absent here? And why is it amplified here? And then he realizes that I'm actively participating in the process.
Right.
And so then, he can say, hey, well, Matt, this is here because the just elevating the proof does this to the same. This everything is exactly the same, except I've
Right.
elevated the proof here. And this is why that tastes different. And so my mouth to mind starts understanding, like, oh, that's that jump. That's why that
Hmm.
is that way. Right. And so it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, man. And so first to fight, right?
Hmm.
Make something that is mischievously able to be mixed with one
Right.
of our other core categories, and also something where I can introduce people to the new chapter of their gin madness, where you know we've done a lot of these tastings over the years. Room 101 gin is 5.5 years old now in market,
Right.
and every tasting I show up to, especially in cigar bars, which is a big focus for us. People say, well, I don't like gin. I say, I dig it, because I thought I didn't like it either until I made my own gin, and I made it the way that I wanted to. So
Right.
try it, and try it with your cig. And they do. And they're like, fuck, I love this. And I'm like, there you go. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Boom. But don't ever drink any other gin, because it doesn't taste like that. It's just mine. Boop.
I'm sure. I'm definitely
Yeah.
sure.
It's only
Listen,
ours.
a
Yeah.
cigar with a martini, a gin and tonic in the summer, with a
Yeah, man.
cigar. God, it's a great combination. For people who haven't
It
tried it,
ain't bad.
you definitely should.
It ain't bad.
Yeah. No, I haven't. I haven't.
That's decent.
I haven't tried gin just on its own. I probably should,
Mhm.
but I'm
You should drink
typically
our gin neat.
really
You should.
okay.
Yeah, you should.
All right, I'll definitely try that.
Mhm.
Now
Mhm.
you're in what Total Wine throughout the country?
Not throughout the country. We're directly distributed in 13 states right now,
Hmm.
and in Total Wine in most of the states that we're distributed in.
Okay.
And then by mail order through some of our retail partners like Caskers, Flaviar, Mr. High Time.
Okay.
Shout out to Mr. High Time in Costa Mesa. You can order direct to your door in about 33 states
That's great.
that
That's
don't
great.
hate on the drink, because some of them hate on the drink. They don't hate on the drink. They actually, what it is they hate other people making money in their state when they, you get what I'm saying.
I do.
Little control. You're from New Jersey. You understand all
Oh
about
yeah. Oh yeah.
controlling
Absolutely.
business things, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very similar. Yeah.
Okay. So how
It's
did
a
you
great business.
let's change the subject a little bit. How did you handle
Yeah, yeah,
COVID in
please.
California with
Uh,
massive restrictions?
well, at the time we were at our family's place in Washington, which was easier to deal with. And I, quite frankly, would quarantine myself today. I
Okay.
prefer quarantine, honestly. I could never come back. It'll be great.
Another thing that you're really into is old cars,
Yes, sir.
and you've got I don't know how many you have, but just the
I have a
pictures
couple.
I've seen, just the photos I've seen in Instagram,
Mhm,
just gorgeous
mhm.
stuff. Some low
Yeah, man.
riders, and tell us a little bit
Yeah,
about that.
I've always been enamored with the custom style, with custom with the K. And, I became introduced to that after I got out of the Marine Corps. And a guy that was tattooing me at the time, his name was Baby Ray. I was in East Hollywood there, and he had this. I would literally at the time, he actually has a car that you or had at the time, built a car that you are probably familiar with, because that car shortly after he started working on me became a famous car, because he sold it to Jesse James, and Jesse James drove it on a commercial for AutoZone.
Wow,
And I believe he still owns it. It's a murdered out black chop top 54 post sedan, you
wow,
know, and that car I would specifically drive down Melrose uh, instead of going any other direction and break my neck looking at that car, and obviously thinking that, I'd never have something like that myself. I couldn't even imagine a world where I could,
Hmm.
and that was, one of my first cars was a 54 Chevy, so,
Nice.
um, and so on, it goes from there.
Oh God. Yeah, my dad used to have he used to do a lot of work on cars, and he used to take the roofs off and make them, what do you call it? Not topless. What's the word?
Mm-hmm.
What am I thinking of? He used to cut the tops off and make them
Yeah, you'd cut the top off, you'd make it
convertibles.
a convertible. Yeah,
Convertible.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Nice, man.
Oh God. Yeah. So now let's talk about your world. How's your son doing?
Thank you for asking. It's
Great,
phenomenal, man.
great little boy.
It's my universe, man.
Yeah.
The nucleus of my universe, my family.
Mm-hmm. No, no, it definitely reflects. We see it. We definitely
Thanks
see
for
it.
noticing.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
I can't tell you, man. We're having the time of our life, man. We're just enjoying each other, and a world with, you know, uh, unlimited and untapped possibilities, and travel and experiences, and love, and it's really, it's the best, man.
How old is he now?
7.
7. Oh, glorious
Mhm.
time.
That's the
Glorious
best.
time. Yeah.
Mhm.
Teenage years. I went through it.
Yeah, I'm not
Uh,
looking forward to it, but I mean,
it's gonna happen.
hopefully it doesn't hit too hard, Of course,
Yeah.
I think he might even be more stubborn than me, which is saying something. So, like, yes, the mutation of my own genetics, right?
Right. Exactly.
So, there you go.
That's great. You know what I do want to talk about a little bit? I do want to talk about your military career
Yeah, yeah, for
because
sure.
you went from the real short hair or the
Mhm.
and now you have this long hair. How did that happen? How did you go from really short hair to the long hair? Was that a
Man,
COVID thing?
no, well, I mean, it happened during COVID, but I had decided that I was going to fuck around, try to grow my hair out before COVID kicked in, right? So, like
Okay.
the beginning of 2020, I was like, I've never had long hair. I've never worn my hair long. I'm going to try it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
See what it's like. I've had a couple different haircuts over the years, and I'm just going to go without one. And I grew it out, and I like wearing it this way. I'm going to wear it this way for a while. But I am at some point, I am going to cut it real short in a fade, and I'm just going to slam it back and go old school again. So
There
I
you
won't
go.
wear it like this forever.
No, no, no. You definitely don't stay the same. You like different looks.
I'm what I'm doing is I'm telling on myself. I'm giving the NSA all of my disguises in advance.
Exactly.
It's I'm a dipshit. I should have saved the long hair for, when I go to Costa Rica.
Oh, listen, you
I'm
got that.
not going to Costa Rica. No,
You
when I
got the
don't go to
Jesus
Costa Rica.
look. You got the
When I
Jesus look.
don't go.
Rock. You're rocking it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So,
Oh, what are we talking about? Oh, the military.
the
Yeah.
military. Yes. Let's go back to
Uh,
military. Tell us about your
yeah.
military career. What did you do in the Marines?
I was a machine gunner in the infantry, 3-7 India Company, for 4 years,
Hmm.
and that really helped to. I mean, it changed my life for the better. I'm grateful for the experience, the friendships that I made, and the way that it began to anneal my spirit
Hmm.
and put me in a certain path in my life, both personally and professionally. That you know, I believe wholeheartedly, had I not done that, you and I would definitely not be sitting here having this conversation today.
Wow,
And
that says a lot.
oh yeah, without question, it changed the direction of my life dramatically, and that was the whole point. I needed that, and I knew I needed that, and I pulled the, ejection seat on
Hmm.
my existing life at the time, and
Right.
did that. And never look back, man. Never look back.
Wow. Amazing. What do you hope people take away from the experience of smoking Room 101?
That's a funny question. The first thing that I thought of when you said that,
What's that?
back in the day when I was first traveling to promote our brand, I went to a store in Virginia, right? Which I'm embarrassed. I know exactly where it is, and I can't summon the name of the shop.
Hmm.
It's a cigar rectum, something like that. It just sounds similar.
Right.
Carry the I, add a vowel. So whatever. It's a cigar shop, a proper cigar shop, still in business today. Very respectable. And I go in there, and the proprietor begins to tell me a story about a gentleman that works in law enforcement, and he really, really enjoyed my brand. And now this is when we had one cigar,
Right.
right? And but he says that this gentleman would come in after his shift, smoke a cigar. Before his shift, he'd go smoke and then go to work. And he said that after he had smoked the Room 101 cigar one day, he came face to face with his greatest fear. And his greatest fear was to have to fight a naked man on PCP. Not the cop on PCP, but the naked guy,
Right.
right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, so so this kid apparently had whatever, got all fired up off some PCP, and his parents were trying to lock him in the basement of their house, and he got out. And when this dude finally got to him, this dude was butt naked on the train tracks,
Oh
and he had to
God.
wrestle this guy down and restrain him and all this. And so he said that he was superstitious that the Room 101 cigar, because of the connotations of Room 101, et cetera, had
Right.
had brought this to be a reality in his life. So he still smoked the cigars, but he would take the bands off of them first.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want people to remember that man's story. And if I don't know who he is, I just remember his story. My man, if you're out there, you see this, or I would love to have a cigar with you. And I would obviously love to have your firsthand account of this amazing story that I
Right.
heard second or third hand, you know? But I think if people had a takeaway that they could imagine that their greatest hopes and dreams and wants could potentially come true
That's
in the
great.
cloud of combustible dreamscape that is the afterglow of Room 101.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, could we hope for any greater level
No.
of satisfaction or completion?
No. No. I mean, it
Well, there you
brings
go.
your cigars bring a spirituality to them.
I hope so. I hope so. Thank you,
Um,
man.
any final thoughts, Matt?
No, man. I just look, honestly. I appreciate you taking the time, and and anybody that watches this, I'm grateful for the hour of your life that you're never going to get back, and thanks for all the support and belief, man, over the years, and we'll keep doing it.
Well, listen,
Thank you.
we definitely appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I know my audience will definitely appreciate you. And this has been a great interview as far as I'm concerned, and I hope a lot of people watch it.
I hope I did okay. I was so nervous, Chess.
Oh no,
I was so nervous. I
you're the
really hope I
best.
did okay.
You are the. I can't wait to see you at the end of the week. So
Likewise, man. Me too, man.
let me end it real quick, folks. Remember to like, share, subscribe. All that stuff really helps the channel. Greatly appreciated. And remember one thing. Okay, stay blessed. And inside every wrapper, a story waits to be told. If you enjoyed this episode, please think about subscribing. And also, look at the other videos on the channel, as well as the one I'm going to be recommending at the end of this. So until next time, my friends, stay blessed. Thank you.